Hi guys, this is Jason Gartner, guitar teacher with Bring the Music to You, the East Valley's provider of in-home music lessons. Okay, today I'm going to cover a topic that every guitarist who really wants to get good, whether that be just being able to play pop tunes and some basic rhythms, or some serious lead work or classical or anything like that. Every guitarist who wants to do that kind of stuff should know, and it's very, very needed. Okay, get to know the notes up and down your fretboard. Okay, if I were playing the piano, once I learned that the note before the two black keys is C, every time I see two black keys, I know that it's C. Once I know that the note before the three black keys is F, every time I see three black keys, I know it's F, right? The piano is laid out very straightforward for you, okay? The guitar has tons of awesome possibilities that the piano doesn't. And there's a reason why people really like the guitar sometimes instead of the piano, because it has so many stylistic options. But it's a little bit more work to get to know the notes on your instrument, okay? So put a little bit of time into this. It doesn't have to be a ton, at least get the basic knowledge of the systems so that you can at least quickly do some math or whatever you need to do to find a note in a different position and make sense out of it without too much brain strain, right? So I'm going to give you some suggestions for how to do that. Okay, number one, get to know, make sure you know the names of your open strings. That should be one of the first things you know, right? So you should be able to say E, A, D, G, B, E real comfortably, real easily, okay? In other words, if I ask you, hey, where's the A string, you should be able to go to, hey, there's the A string. Where's the B string? Right here, okay? Where's the G string? Right there. Where's the E string? Well, both these are E strings, whatever. So get to know that. Okay, once you know that, also, the 12th fret, like we were saying, the 12th fret is just a repeat of those same letter names. So I've got E, A, D, G, B, E. Get to know every single string, okay? Get to know it in the sense that you can play a chromatic scale, meaning every single fret up and down, okay? Saying the sharps, okay? So the sharp is when you have a note in between two natural name notes. For example, between F and G, there's an empty fret. Okay, that fret is called F sharp. Okay, that could also be called G flat. Between G and A, there's a sharp. It could be called G sharp or A flat. Between A and B, there's A sharp or B flat. Between B and C, there's nothing. You go straight from B to C. Also between E and F, you go straight to, E to F. The guitar only goes as far as G. Music only goes as far as G. Okay, there's 5 sharps. There's 7 note names, 7 letter names. Okay. So a total of 12 notes. So once you've reached the 12th fret of each string, you've gone through all the letter names. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So I'm going to play, and I'm going to say this out loud. And this is important. I really think you should say this out loud. Okay, if you do that, there is something about vocalizing what you're doing that makes it make that even that much more sense to you. Okay, so I'm playing the E string here. Okay, so my first note is obviously E. Then the first fret gives me F, second fret gives me F sharp, third fret G, fourth fret G sharp, A sharp, B, straight to C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, okay? So you can do that, and you can quickly make sure that when you arrive at the 12th fret, did you arrive at an E note again? If you didn't, you got it wrong, okay? So go back and practice it again. Remember, B to C, there's no sharp or flat in between. E to F, there's no sharp or flat in between. Everything else there is. I'm going to demonstrate now on the B string here. So by the time I get to the 12th fret, I should be at the note B again, if I did it right. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Did it right. Okay. I'm going to go to the G string now. G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G. Okay? Now I can do that with every string. Okay? So it also stands to reason that if I'm going backwards from the 12th fret, I can find my note names pretty quickly also. I recommend that you take a look at the 10th fret. What are the names of the notes on all the 10th fret? All the strings on the 10th fret, right? So I've got the E string, then below it is E flat on the 11th fret, so the 10th fret is going to be D. right? Because like we were saying, between E and D, there's a sharp, or a flat, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So below B, well, one letter name before B is A on the 10th fret, right? Skipping the 11th fret because there's a sharp there. So on the 12th fret, I've got G. Below that, G flat, F on the 10th fret. 12th fret of the D string, I've got D. Below that, 11th fret, C sharp, and then C on the 10th fret. Okay? If I do the A string, I've got G on the 10th fret. If I do the E string again, I've got D. So my notes here are D, G, C, F, A, D. Okay? I recommend you get to know those. Also, kind of easy one to memorize. You get to spell the word bead on the 7th fret if you start from the thickest string, right? So B, E, A, D, and then you get an F sharp on the 7th fret of the B string, and then another B on the E string. Whatever's on this E string on the 7th fret is going to be on this E string on the 7th fret. It's just the way it works. So, once again, the word I spell on the 7th fret is bead. B, E, A, D, F sharp, and then B, right? Bead plus an F sharp and then another B, okay? Get to know your 5th fret and your 4th fret of the G string, of course, because that has to do with tuning your guitar, right? Your A string is tuned to the 5th fret of the E string. Therefore, the 5th fret of the E string must be an A note. Your D string is tuned to the 5th fret of the A string. Therefore, the 5th fret of your A string must be a D note. Your G string is tuned to the 5th fret of the D string, so that must be a G. B string is tuned to the 4th fret of G, so that note must be a B. And your E string is tuned to the 5th fret of the B string, so that must be a E also. And then, since we had A up here on this E string, once again, the rule is, if the 5th fret of this E string is A, well then the 5th fret of this E string is also A, okay? Because they're both E strings. All right? So there's the real basic way to start getting your note names down. Okay, start getting to know your instrument. Now, taking it to the next level, learn to play your scale positions. In particular, I really recommend the open scale position, right? The natural scale position of the key of C with no sharps or no flats. Then the 5th position, and then the 10th position, and you know everything between 0 and 12 in the key of C. Right? So I'm talking, you should say it out loud again, and you should go, it's going to be 0, 1, 3 on the thickest string, on the E string. On the A string it'll be 0, 2, 3. On the D string also, 0, 2, 3. G, on the G string, 0, 2. On the B string, 0, 1, 3. And then on the E string, 0, 1, 3. Now what you're going to say as you do that is say E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now if you ever get to an open string and you're not saying the letter name of that open string, something got off in that system, okay? So E, F, G, and then by the time I get to the A string I should be saying A, B, C. By the time I get to the D string I should be saying D. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you say it out loud, okay? Then you go to the 5th position. 5th position, basically like we were talking about, the A string is tuned to the 5th fret of the E string, right? So we're going to start off with an A note. And we're going to get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. We're going to shift down to the 4th fret of the G string because the B string is tuned to the 4th fret of the G string. We're going to get B, C, D, and then back up to the 5th fret of the B string because the E string is tuned to the B string 5th fret. We're going to get E, F, G, A, B, C. Say that out loud to yourself. You start getting to know all of your notes in that position. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Then, you can take that and move it up another 5 frets to 10th position, right? So remember how the D string is tuned to the 5th fret of the A string, right? And the A string is tuned to the 5th fret of the E string. Well, 5 plus 5 is 10. So guess what? I get the note D on the 10th fret of the E string. So now I've got D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, now along with this video, what we're going to be posting on our blog is some tabs of everything I'm showing right now, so that you can go on to our blog and download that tab, print it off, and practice it and see more clearly what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just trying to lay out for you the order in which you might want to approach learning these systems. Right? Learn the single strings first. Learn the open position. Learn the open string names for sure. Learn the 12th fret. There's a couple other easy things.